Oh, I'm trying to. Okay, so what's up, you guys? I'm not sure. Okay, there you go. Who's up? I was going to do a live, but I decided not to do a live. I'll just, get on here. Today is day 27, but day 26 was yesterday. I'm in Florida, so Eastern Standard Time. Day 26 for the 31-day horror challenge. We're getting so close to Halloween. I cannot believe it. We're getting so close to November. I can't believe we're getting so close to December. I remember in January, and I know in January, I was like, don't blink because we'll be in Christmas. It'll be Christmas time. So, day 26 is the GOAT of horror. And everybody has all of these takes as far as, and I know I was probably thinking too much about it, but not really. A lot of people were choosing really, really good choices. Like they were choosing the originals, and I feel like a trend, the GOAT of horror movies would be the horror movie that sets the trend within its own genre. And we have, it's just so many. I'm a lover of horror movies, so I have favorites, but I don't have an absolute favorite overall. My favorite horror era would be the 70s and 80s for horror movies. Of course, I'm a miss, Scream and Wes Craven. I do love David Cronenberg, movies like that, per Scanners, and then you have The Brood. So these are like movies that are, I believe these are in the 80s. So, and then just the psychological type of horror thriller movies that are out there. But generally, movies that set the tone, set the trend, like Child's Play. Okay, who's doing that? Nobody. I mean, you're doing like some voodoo, you're getting into a doll, and it became like a cult classic. Everybody freaking loves Chucky. We're looking at the series now, which I love the series that is on TV of this particular doll. And then you have Poltergeist, you have the Supernaturals, and then you have the slashers, and then you have the Jason Voorhees versus the Michael Myers, and then you have the Freddy Krueger for Nightmare on Elm Street. And of course, like Jason Voorhees, when we first saw Friday the 13th, this wasn't even an actual, it wasn't Jason, basically. So it kind of it changed to me as far as how we see a slasher movies, because Jason Voorhees and how he became what he is, and then he's a supernatural entity. He's nothing like Michael Myers. Nothing like Michael Myers, because Michael Myers is a human and Jason is not. So I think sleep is kicking in, you guys, but I'm going to finish this. So this is part 2, because I left off talking about Jason Voorhees and I never got to the point of my movie choice. So, and like I was stating, that to me, the GOAT of horror movies is the horror movie that set the trend within its own genre. And for me, I chose April Fool's Day. And I'm not sure who, this is a 80s movie. I'm not sure who has seen it. My favorite era for horror movies would be like the 70s, 80s of horror movies. To me, those movies I just love watching them. They really set the tone of the horror movies that we watch today. And April Fool's Day, listen, if you have not watched April Fool's Day, check it out. I mean, it is what it is. It's April Fool's Day. So when you're watching it, this is a cult classic horror movie, the best in its time, best in its era, best in its genre. You're literally watching this, and every time I've watched it more than once, and every time I'm watching it, what am I gonna get out of it? I just love it. I just love the kills in the movie. I love just the thrills. It's a thriller suspense. Even though I've watched it so many times and I know what's going to happen every time, and I just love it. And it has one of the best twist endings ever. Of course, you got, and I left off my favorite, because I chose, as far as the day for your favorite director, I chose Alfred Hitchcock, which, of course, Psycho. I mean, come on. This is a movie that really set the tone of its genre. One of the best twist endings ever, because no one during that time period knew that this fool was also his mom. And we can literally hear his mom or him having conversations and fussing at each other while the woman is listening from the hotel room, and she's listening to the conversations of him and his mom. No one would have guessed that. That is one of the best twist endings ever. So if you love the twist endings, I'm telling you to check out April Fool's Day. One of the best. One of the best for us. So that was my chosen one for the GOAT, because it definitely sets the trend within its genre. And that's all, folks. That's all, folks.